I'm really tired from people getting obsessive over media. I personally lost hundreds of hours trying to get quote unquote media literate. You absolutely shouldn't watch Tarkovsky, Kubrick, Lynch, read Leo Tolstoy, Friedrich Nietzsche, and other faggots to change your life. And if it did change your life, you're a huge gay. Old ass movies that praised are literally unwatchable. They aren't smart. They may be creative for their time, but that's it. They just boring and slow, so gay people could keep track of its story. The gay message that this film provides can be written in a single sentence, and it's possibly some gay ass shit about metaphoric dichotomies, crazy type shit. The reason why movies suck big time nowadays is not only because of Zook Hollywood, but also because of big glaze towards sucky, slow Bergman movies where zero action happens. Same applies to philosophy books and books in general. Some books are basically a huge waste of time with useless filler dialogues, like in War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. I can't believe how glazed that shit is nowadays. All fiction books are their only testicular brain of a 18th century individual. No matter how long ago it was written, there are other media types that just mock the shit out of fiction books, and it's one of the reasons why women prefer to read smut instead of actual fiction. As for philosophy books, most of concept in those books are just a waste of time or even a false interpretation of world. It might be something easy that just described with quirky smarty pants language. Just look at the average philosopher background. It is a beachless loser who cope hard trying to sophisticate Max his stupid incel life. And they are not wiser than you just because they lived 300 years ago. Nietzsche was 27 when he wrote his first gay science type stuff. What makes him wiser than Andrew Tate, for example? Andrew Tate hacked the Matrix and knows the ball and have bitches, and he made his first million at 27 years old. If Nietzsche was alive today, he would make videos on YouTube about the fall of modern gaming because of feminism and DEI hires, instead of getting bitches that Wiga preferred to write reviews for music, while also trying to get his worthless lo-fi beats into mainstream. Old ass philosophers like Plato are kinda cool, but it's nothing more than an epic factoids. All philosophy is just factoids, to be honest. I would say that some philosophies make total sense to read if your mind is fucked up with retarded dialectic driven ideas just to hard reset, but I believe it's just better to start actually living in real life and take notes about real life and not some imaginary world like majority of factory consumers do, using a cartoon robot to represent their worldviews. A lot of people don't even know who they quote, who they follow. Like for example, Marx is quite famous for living off his friend's money. This Jobiga refused to get a job to get a medicine for his baby child who was suffering from pneumonia. And also he was quite interested in the nigger blood of his daughter's husband because of his Cuban descent. Well, I kinda wish it was my life. Marx for sure would believe in vagina capitalism if he lived today because women are the biggest means of production in our world and they should spread evenly among all men. He was just living in a completely different world back then, where females were not as brave and stunning as they are now. French philosophers are just a bunch of random shit. Don't even waste your time thinking about it. Probably all of 20th century philosophers are just big waste of time. Science pop is just a bunch of cool facts that you will forget soon. I will not elaborate on this. Um, Unironically, the best philosophers of all time is the shit that you see on YouTube and Instagram. Asmongold is probably smarter than the majority of philosophers. Gamers are the biggest consumers out of all groups. They waste hundreds of their hours discussing how feminism destroyed their game series or how the new entrants in the series will flop. I'm not against opinions like that, it's normal to have one, but to seriously watch shit ton of videos on how certain game is gay and is just sad. Endless videos on why video games aren't fun anymore. Like, don't fucking play them anymore. There's so much to life besides video games. Also, gamers tend to shit on everything new more than others, while glazing the shit out of unplayable old slop like Daggerfall. Also, supposedly, being a gamer comes with a lot of cool titles, such as Funko Pop Collector or Adult Cartoon Enjoyer, while at the same time providing no other benefits unlike watching movies, for example, because at least movies end and have a message. TV shows, though, is a different thing and probably is more retarded than video games, but that's mostly a female thing. The reason I hate video games the most is because I actually listened when I was a teenager to video game advices from other people, from the net, when I should have just quit it as soon as it got stale for me. I was forcing myself to play boring ass old games when I was 12 and thinking that I'm a retard because I don't understand them or don't get the gameplay loop, when in reality the game itself was just retarded beyond comprehension. Like Fallout 3, game without a gameplay, just a grinding simulator, no gameplay. You just click enemies till they die and they auto level for some reason, so the grinding doesn't really make sense. And the people who review games are pathetic. They often talk about a game like someone paid to hyperbolize simple game mechanics, like it actually affects the game. For example, imagine someone tells you that you can sell children in Fallout 4. Yeah, it does sound cool, right? Well, you technically do. You technically can. But only in one dialogue option in the entire game. That's basically how every video game reviewer will hype up games that they talk about, when in reality it's just a press of a button that will affect almost nothing. I also don't understand when people praise the plot of video game. Usually so-called good story is from video games that have no gameplay. Why would I spend my time playing a walking simulator with dialogues when I can just watch a movie or read a book that will have 1,000 times better story for sure? Why people even play JRPGs, for example? Why don't you just watch an anime instead of grinding a game with press X to win gameplay? I personally wasted so much time trying to get quote-unquote smarter and get enlightenment from all of those cool smart books and movies that people told me to watch over the time. And I was quite dependent on the opinion of others for quite a long time. But that's just my own psychological thing. If you have something like this, don't be afraid to admit that this shit sucks ass and boring as fuck. You will get nothing out of it. I'm telling you this as a person who consumed it all, who was trying so hard to quote unquote get something that doesn't even deserve a single thought. By the way, not so many people watch movies in real life. A lot of action movies are unironically better in every way possible than art house movies. Plot wise, effects wise, you name it. Also, you will not lose anything by not consuming something. Real life gives way more topics to think about. And by real life, I mean real life, not some Twitter threads, not fake news on TV or the net, not a fucking internet drama about real people. No, I mean your life, your career, your family, and people around you. Consumption is not a hobby. I just don't remember those years when I consumed, but I do remember a time when I actually lived.